Okay, Spurs fans, we really need to talk about that Ipswich game.
It's tough, isn't it?
I mean, Ipswich, they just walked into our home.
Then just snatched a win.
Their first Premier League win since 2002.
Can you believe it?
And at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, of all places.
It really does make you question everything.
I haven't seen our fan base this heartbroken since...
Last season?
Probably right, yeah.
Probably.
But we have to try to find some answers.
Let's dissect this.
Okay, so first things first, Ange.
His post-match interview.
It wasn't exactly inspiring, was it?
Not really.
Remember that infectious enthusiasm he had earlier in the season?
Yeah, what happened to that?
It's like he's a completely different manager now.
Yeah, you can tell there's a huge difference.
He was so open and relaxed before, almost jovial.
Yeah, and now...
Short answers, barely making eye contact.
And he even admitted there were plenty of things he could have done differently.
But then wouldn't elaborate.
It's got everyone wondering, what were those things?
Right. Spill the beans, Ange.
Yeah.
Even Jamie O'Hara is calling for more accountability.
Yeah, he's saying that Ange needs to tell us what went wrong.
O'Hara makes a good point there.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, we deserve to know.
Yeah, as fans, we want more than just, it wasn't great.
We're all hurting right now.
Exactly. So tell us what's the plan.
Give us something to hold on to.
We were all getting spoiled by Ange Ball, weren't we?
That free-flowing attacking style.
We were all dreaming of glory.
But it seems like the magic's gone.
Yeah, the defensive frailties are just glaringly obvious.
Remember the legendary Spurs defenses?
Like King Can.
Solid as a rock.
Now it's giving us all heart palpitations.
Every time the opposition gets near our box.
Seriously, let's not even get started on the defense.
Dean Ashton was spot on.
In his analysis.
Conceding first in 13 out of the last 15 home games.
That's just not sustainable.
You can't keep playing catch-up every match.
I swear it's like they've forgotten how to defend the 6-yard box.
Back the day, we would dominate in our own half.
Effortlessly clearing any danger.
And now,
It's like watching a bunch of nervous kittens.
trying to play with a ball of yarn.
Jamie O'Hara was pretty brutal in his assessment too.
He said the defenders are all over the place.
Yeah, and have lost the art of basic defending.
I hate to say it, but he's not entirely wrong.
The lack of organization
And communicate.
at the back is costing us dearly.
It's like we're constantly on the verge of a defensive meltdown.
I think even my Nan could probably score against us right now.
Maybe we need to bring in a specialist.
Someone to teach our lads the forgotten art of defending.
I'm half joking,
Right?
but maybe we should get Tony Adams on speed dial.
Now, wouldn't that be a sight to see?
Tony Adams drilling our back line into shape.
Look, I'm not saying we need to completely ditch Ange Ball.
It's beautiful when it works.
It's pure poetry in motion.
But
We need to balance that attacking flair with some defensive steel.
otherwise, we're just going to be left with heartbreak.
And a whole lot of what ifs.
It's like we're constantly teetering on a knife edge.
1 minute we're brilliant, the next we're blundering.
Exactly. It's the inconsistency that's the most worrying part.
You just never know which Spurs team's going to show up.
It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Precisely.
1 minute we're a well-oiled machine, the next we're a complete shambles.
And it makes you wonder, is this Ange's fault?
Is he too stubborn?
Yeah, too wedded to his attacking philosophy.
You can't argue with the results when it works, though.
No, you can't.
But maybe he needs to be more pragmatic.
To adapt to the realities of the Premier League.
Yeah, you need to be able to defend.
If you want to win consistently.
I think it's about finding that balance
Right.
between attack and defense.
You can't sacrifice our attacking flair entirely.
That's what makes us Spurs.
Exactly. But we need to tighten things up at the back.
A more solid defensive structure.
Imagine if we could combine the attacking prowess of peak-era Bale.
With the defensive solidity of Ledley King in his prime.
Now that would be a force to be reckoned with.
Wouldn't it just...
The international break has come at a good time, though, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It gives Ange and the coaching staff a chance to regroup.
Yeah, to analyze.
Then figure out a plan.
Do we need to tweak the tactics?
Do we need to bring in some reinforcements in January?
And it's a chance for the players to clear their heads.
Come back with a renewed sense of purpose.
Then determination.
We need to see that fight, that grit.
That never say die attitude that's synonymous with Tottenham Hotspur.
Exactly. Speaking of fight,
Yeah,
let's talk about Ipswich for a minute.
Yes.
It was a historic win for them.
it was.
And I'm sure our listeners are feeling a bit conflicted about it.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we've got mixed emotions.
On the one hand, it's a gut-wrenching defeat for us.
But on the other hand, you have to admire Kieran McKenna's journey.
Released by Spurs as a youngster, and now he's back to haunt us as a manager.
Leading Ipswich back into the Premier League.
What a story.
It's definitely bittersweet, isn't it?
It is.
Good for him, but it does sting a little.
Seeing a former Spurs youth player mastermind a win against us.
Especially one this significant.
Maybe it's a lesson for us.
Yeah, maybe we should be nurturing our young talent a bit more carefully.
Imagine if McKenna was still with us.
Working his magic with our current crop of youngsters.
Maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation about defensive woes then.
Maybe not.
That's a good point.
But you know what? Even in defeat, there's a silver lining.
What's that?
It's a reminder that anything is possible in football.
True.
Ipswich, a team that many had written off, pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the season.
And it shows that you can't take anything for granted.
Every game is a battle.
You have to be ready to fight for every point.
No complacency.
Not against City, not against anyone.
So what do you think? Is this a turning point for Ipswich?
Or will they fade back into the pack?
And more importantly, what does this mean for our beloved Spurs?
Can we bounce back from this setback?
Or will we continue to stumble? It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can we bounce back?
I think we can. I really do.
I'm choosing to believe that this Ipswich defeat was a wake-up call.
Yeah, maybe it was the kick in the backside we needed.
The much-needed reality check.
Our performance against Ipswich wasn't exactly a highlight reel moment.
It was like that moment you're at a party feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling confident on top of the world.
And then you trip and spill your drink all over yourself.
Back to reality.
A bit embarrassing.
What just happened?
That's where we are now.
We had a taste of success, that win against City, but now we've been brought back down to earth.
So how do we respond?
That's the question.
Do we let this define us, or do we use it as fuel to move forward?
We can't dwell on it. We need to learn from it.
I say we channel that frustration, that anger,
Yeah.
and turn it into a positive force.
We've got the international break to regroup,
To rethink,
to come back stronger,
and then we face City again.
a chance for redemption.
A chance to show the world that Tottenham Hotspur doesn't crumble after one defeat.
We've got to remember we have the best fans in the world.
The Tottenham faithful are incredible.
They'll be there cheering us on through thick and thin.
That's what makes this club so special.
That unwavering support.
It's a shared passion.
The belief that no matter what, we'll always come back fighting.
We are Tottenham Hotspur and we never give up.
So to all the Spurs fans out there,
Keep the faith.
we've been through tough times before, and we've always come out stronger.
This is just another chapter in our story.
And I have a feeling this one's going to have a happy ending.
We're all in this together,
We're a family, and we'll be there to support each other.
through the highs and lows.
That's it for this deep dive, folks.
Thanks for joining us.
We've had laughs, we've had tears.
But most importantly, we had each other.
Until next time, keep the faith, stay positive.
COAS.
CUAS.